All the world is made of faith and trust and pixie dust. Never say goodbye, because goodbye means going away, and going away means forgetting. The moment you doubt whether you can fly, you cease forever to be able to do it. Dreams do come true, if only we wish hard enough. You can have anything in life if you will sacrifice everything else for it. When the first baby laughed for the first time, its laugh broke into 1,000 pieces, and they all went skipping about. And that was the beginning of fairies. Second star to the right, and straight on till morning. To live will be an awfully big adventure. Oh, the cleverness of me. All children, except one, grow up. Stars are beautiful, but they may not take part in anything. They must just look on forever. Fairies have to be one thing or the other, because being so small, they unfortunately have room for only one feeling at a time. You need not be sorry for her. She was one of the kind that likes to grow up. In the end, she grew up of her own free will, a day quicker than the other girls. There could not have been a lovelier sight, but there was none to see it, except a little boy who was staring in at the window. He had ecstasies innumerable that other children could never know. But he was looking through the window at the one joy from which he must forever be barred. "Wendy," said Peter, in a voice that no woman has yet been able to resist. "Wendy, one girl is worth 20 boys. If you cannot teach me to fly, teach me to sing." All children, except one, grow up. They soon know that they will grow up, and the way Wendy knew was this. One day, when she was 2 years old, she was playing in the garden, and she plucked another flower and ran with it to her mother. I suppose she must have looked rather delightful, for Mrs. Darling put her hand upon her heart and cried, "Oh, why can't you remain like this forever?" This was all that passed between them on the subject. But henceforth, Wendy knew that she must grow up. You always know after you are two. Two is the beginning of the end. I suppose it's like the ticking crocodile, isn't it? Time is chasing after all of us. Pan, who and what are you? He cried huskily. I'm youth. I'm joy. I'm a little bird that is broken out of the egg. I taught you to fight and to fly. What more could there be? If you shut your eyes and are a lucky one, you may see at times a shapeless pool of lovely pale colors suspended in the darkness. Then, if you squeeze your eyes tighter, the pool begins to shape, and the colors become so vivid that, with another squeeze, they must go on fire. Just always be waiting for me. Stars are beautiful, but they may not take an active part in anything. They must just look on forever. It is a punishment put on them for something they did so long ago that no star now knows what it was. So the older ones have become glassy-eyed and seldom speak. Winking is the star language, but the little ones still wonder. Can anything harm us, Mother, after the night lights are lit? Nothing, precious, she said. They are the eyes a mother leaves behind to guard her children. She asked where he lived. Second to the right, said Peter, and then straight on till morning. Would you like an adventure now, or would you like to have your tea first? There is a saying in Neverland that every time you breathe, a grown-up dies. It is not in doing what you like, but in liking what you do. That is the secret of happiness. All of this has happened before, and it will all happen again. Tink was not all bad, or rather, she was all bad just now, but on the other hand, sometimes she was all good. Fairies have to be one thing or the other, because being so small, they unfortunately have room for only one feeling at a time. They are, however, allowed to change, only it must be a complete change. On these magic shores, children at play are forever beaching their oracles. We too have been there. We can still hear the sound of the surf, though we shall land no more. For long, the two enemies looked at one another, Hook shuddering slightly, and Peter with a strange smile on his face. "So, Pan," said Hook at last, "this is all you're doing." "Yes, it is all my doing," came the stern answer. "Proud and insolent youth," said Hook, "prepare to meet your doom." "Dark and sinister man," Peter answered, "have at thee." Wendy, Wendy, when you are sleeping in your silly bed, you might be flying about with me, saying funny things to the stars. Forget them all. Come with me where you'll never have to worry about grown-up things again. Never is an awfully long time. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, or forgetful. "Do you know," Peter asked, "why swallows build in the eaves of houses? It is to listen to the stories." Pan was not quite like other boys, but he was afraid at last. A tremor ran through him, like a shudder passing over the sea. But on the sea, one shudder follows another till there are hundreds of them. And Peter felt just the one. Next moment, he was standing erect on the rock again, with that smile on his face and a drum beating within him. It was saying, "To die will be an awfully big adventure." It was then that Hook bit him. Not the pain of this, but its unfairness was what dazed Peter. It made him quite helpless. He could only stare, horrified. Every child is affected thus the first time he is treated unfairly. All he thinks he has a right to when he comes to you, to be yours, is fairness. After you have been unfair to him, he will love you again, but he will never afterwards be quite the same boy. No one ever gets over their first unfairness. No one except Peter. In time, they could not even fly after their hats. Want of practice, they called it. But what it really meant was that they no longer believed. I don't know if you have ever seen a map of a person's mind. Doctors sometimes draw maps of other parts of you, and your own map can become intensely interesting. But catch them trying to draw a map of a child's mind, which is not only confused, but keeps going round all the time. There are zigzagged lines on it. These are probably roads in the island. for Neverland is always more or less an island. There are many different kinds of bravery. There's the bravery of thinking of others before oneself. Now, your father has never brandished a sword nor fired a pistol, thank heavens, but he has made many sacrifices for his family and put away many dreams. Where did he put them? He put them in a drawer, and sometimes, late at night, we take them out and admire them. But it gets harder and harder to close the drawer. He does, and that is why he is brave. You just think lovely, wonderful thoughts, and they lift you up in the air. Off we skip like the most heartless things in the world, which is what children are, but so attractive. And we have an entirely selfish time. And then, when we have need of special attention, we nobly return for it, confident that we shall be rewarded instead of smacked. Peter was not with them for the moment, and they felt rather lonely up there by themselves. He could go so much faster than they, that he would suddenly shoot out of sight to have some adventure in which they had no share. He would come down laughing over something fearfully funny he had been saying to a star. But he had already forgotten what it was. Or he would come up with the mermaid's scales still sticking to him, and yet not be able to say for certain what had been happening. It was really rather irritating to children who had never seen a mermaid. I will teach you how to jump on the wind's back, and then away we go. Never grow up.